Hey guys, welcome back to the MJ Gooner podcast right here for the post-match review. Sevilla 1, Arsenal 2. We are at the top of the group table here so far. 6 points, and thank God Lens and also PSV, they drew. So I think PSV is at the dead last of the group, and Lens at second with 5 points. Sevilla with 2 points or 3 points, something like that. But it's a good game of football. There are a lot of stuff to be discussed about today. Certainly, winning the game is all we want because I wasn't quite optimistic prior to coming to the game. I thought going to Seville away, it's going to be tough. Of course, they have a new manager, and Sergio Ramos just signed for Seville maybe a couple of weeks ago or a month ago. And also, the whole new manager bound thing, keeps happening to Arsenal, where Arsenal just kind of lose when there's a new manager coming in. Thank God it didn't happen, and especially the fact that, this is, I would say, even though this is not the most convincing win ever for Arsenal or for Arteta or this season, but I still feel like, this game we got what we wanted, which is, getting a win. And also, I think this is probably the best away win in Europe under Arteta, given the fact that there's so much stake behind today's game. If we lose somehow, then we will be putting ourselves in a very dangerous situation where we just need to win the remainder of the 3 games, even though we know 2 of them are coming from a home game. But again, every Champions League game that you're going to play this season is going to be tough regardless. So if we have a chance to win it, if we have the opportunity to win it, why not just kind of do it in that way? So let's talk about starting lineup. There are rumors going around Raya might be starting, and even though Aaron Ramsdale coming back to the side, Raya still started. I still don't understand this decision. It's been bugging a lot of Arsenal fans as well. Why Raya is starting this game? We really don't know, and why Ramsdale is not giving a proper chance this time. And I hope this upcoming game against Sheffield United on Saturday, I really hope that Raya or Ramsdale might be getting his chance. If not, the game against West Ham away, I just hope it's going to happen. I think right now, after a few weeks, I really wanted Ramsdale to be back in goal. I'm not saying Raya's a bad signing, but right now it just doesn't quite. His performance doesn't look quite convincing at the moment. Another big one was Thomas Partey was not in the squad today, which scares a lot of Arsenal fans. It certainly scares me. We don't know what happened. Turns out he picked up a muscular injury, and we don't know the extent of the injury as well. There was a banter going around where there was a gender reveal party between Partey and also his partner, and then there was a video of him kicking the ball, just a big kick to the ball, and it revealed it was a girl, so congratulations to them. But a lot of people are making fun of the fact that big kick that he made caused the muscular injury. And there are rumors going around where he is currently being dissatisfied with the lack of minutes he have. But to be honest, he has been injured pretty much throughout the whole season so far. He only featured 3 games this season, or 3-4 games this season, and we really needed him. I'm telling you, if Partey is fit, he is definitely going to slot into that lone 6 role very, very nicely. No, I mean, I'm not dissing on Jorginho or anybody, but it's just the fact that Thomas Partey is so creative, and we're so much better when we have Thomas Partey on the pitch, but we're just not getting anything from him. Injury-wise, certainly not. And one change that we made was Tomiyasu coming back on for Zinchenko. I think this formation, it's long, or this change is long waiting for. A lot of Arsenal fans wanting Tomiyasu to be given a proper chance as left back, even though he is not as, technical-wise, he is not as good as Zinchenko. But you know what? We need that stability on the left-hand side. And Tomiyasu delivered that perfectly. Today, I think defensively he had been very, very good. On the left-hand side, I don't quite remember. There was a chance where all the threats are coming in on the right side or on the left side, but Tomiyasu, Declan Rice, anybody who was playing around that area literally stabilized the whole defense. The first 10 minutes we were quite shaky at times. Feels like we've been giving the ball away very often. But you know what? Coming to Seville, especially away from home, it's very hard to gain possession. Especially in Europe, it's very hard to play with dominance, play with good possession. We didn't quite do that in that day's game, which is fine because that was pretty much our approach. And the pitch was not good. It was raining as well. Certainly, it must be really, really hot there as well. But the first chance coming in for Tomiyasu. I mean, we just kind of have Tomiyasu in that kind of left 8 row at times, just slotting in perfectly in between defenders. He was going for the shot. It was straight at the goalkeeper, was it? It wasn't straight at the goalkeeper. It was a goal kick, and that was a glimpse of what Tomiyasu can potentially offer as the inverted left back. And there was a chance to Martinelli. It was a very good ball from Tomiyasu actually to Jesus, who was right on the line. He was onside. Jesus feeds it off to Martinelli, but that finishing was a little bit disappointing. I mean, nobody could catch Martinelli in that game. I mean, when we talk about pace, when we talk about speed, acceleration in that game, he is the fastest, compared to the other team. And that was a good save by Nayland. I believe that's the goalkeeper's name for Seville. And we had that was the proper chance where we thought we could potentially get something back. And that was a play where in the first half Raya gave the ball away, and that play kind of reminds me of how, was it Maguire or De Gea gave the ball away in last year's game in the Europa League against Seville, away fixture. It was something similar. Raya gave the ball away, but the player who received the ball on the other end had a heavy touch. Raya claims it back, and I'm sure that sequence of play right there created quite a bit of a narrative for Raya, but it doesn't matter, to be honest. I mean, at the end of the day, we won the game, but we just won it with so much nerviness, so much recklessness from the back at times, and we did that exactly. And then right before the end of the first half, Seville had a few chances, but it wasn't, it didn't quite test it. Raya, but it was that glimpse of hope, that glimpse of play in the end, where I think Seville was on a break, and to the point where they kind of crossed the ball in the middle from the left and then to the right, crossing in. Big Gabby clears the ball to Jesus, and Jesus, middle Gabby, controls it perfectly. He can sense where Martinelli was running. That turn from him was exquisite. It was so good. It was so awesome. And then feeds it off to Martinelli. He just kind of bursting through between two defenders. Sergio Ramos was the last player trying to catch up with him, but you can see Sergio Ramos from his back. He knew he just can't catch up with Martinelli, and guess what? Martinelli goes around the goalkeeper and slots it 1-0. And there's some crazy stats about Martinelli. Every start he made so far for Arsenal in different competition, he has scored. I remember the Carabao Cup first game he started against Nottingham Forest. It was Chambers crossing the middle. Martinelli scored. Europa League, I believe he scored as well. I think it was from a header. Was it from a header? I think it was from a header. I forgot which team we played. I think first start for him in the Premier League against West Ham away. I think that was Freddie Ljungberg. gave him his first proper chance, proper start for Martinelli. He buries that one very nicely. It was a first-time finish. It was a cross from Kolasinac to Martinelli, but that was a good finish but that was a very good finish by Martinelli. And today, first start for him in the Champions League. He missed out for the first 2 games due to injury. And today, that was a very, very nice finish right there. I mean, dribbles around the goalkeeper. I thought at one point, you know what? Why it took him so long to pull a trigger? Because I remember that game against Sporting CP last year, away from home, where he had a brilliant run, decided to go around the goalkeeper, but it was saved, or it was caught up by one of the defenders. I thought, you know what? Why not? He didn't go for goal, but turns out he had his own reason why he go around the goalkeeper, and he did that exactly. And we made it 1-0. That was probably the best chance we have. We took it very well, but you gotta give it all credit to Jesus. That was just beautiful play. It was a Jesus masterclass today. Second half started. I think there was a chance where we start to break in between lines in the midfield against Sevilla. There's a couple of chances where Tomiyasu was just kind of carrying the ball forward, same as Declan Rice. And the second goal came in perfectly. It was, I think this is what Arteta was wanting from Arsenal, is the fact that, or at least from Raya, clears the ball to a place where it's kind of flooded with Arsenal players, and the midfield was just not there. I mean, the opposition midfield was not there. When you look at the goal again, he literally launches to Sergio Ramos. I believe it was Martinelli, Jesus, trying to contest it with him, but I think it was Martinelli or Jesus knew that he's not going to win the header against Ramos, so that's why we were aiming for that second ball. But after Ramos heads it into the area where it was just Declan Rice, Martinelli, Jesus, and we can start the attack again. Declan Rice winning the ball and feeds it off to Jesus, but that finish again by Jesus was just so good. I mean, I would definitely think that the assist was way better than the goal, but Jesus, third game for him in the Champions League. He has scored 3 goals. Good for him. I think he's carrying that Champions League form. And later on, out of nowhere, a corner coming in, just conceded in such a poor timing as well, because I thought we were able to gain control from it, and we just couldn't. We couldn't gain control from it. Then we conceded that goal to Sevilla. It was poor marking by Jesus and Ben White. I forgot the guy's name. Was it Ocampos score? I don't think it was Ocampos. But it was between 2 Arsenal players. Just we just put pressure on ourselves. The 2-goal lead was so short-lived to the point where I don't think anybody would have imagined we were in that stage, but we did. And from then on, it's just playing defensive football in general. We just know we just gotta lower down the gear a little bit and make sure everybody was on the right page by defending. I don't think Odegaard had a good game at all. I honestly, Odegaard was better today. Was better on Tuesday, but still not as good. I mean, not as bad. That's the one against Chelsea. But Odegaard was being bullied, being pushed around, eventually getting subbed off. I think that was good. I think Odegaard might need to sit out the next game. Not to punish him, but in a way just to allow him to find his old form back. And Kai Havertz this time playing as the central attacking midfielder. Again, kind of a target man there, and I think Kai Havertz did pretty well. Trossard coming on, did the basic he can. Eddie, did the basic he can by pressing the line. But honestly, that game was all on the defensive work, and we did that perfectly. I feel like they're all coming down the right-hand side. There were a few chances where, some good crosses in the middle. There was like an overhead kick. There was a handball leading to a very good save by Raya, who actually got a tip to it. And it was hit off the bar. That was another good one. And at one point in the last 10-15 minutes, Tomiyasu, Declan Rice, they all covering each other. Like Declan Rice was everywhere. You can see him on the left, you can see him on the right, you can see him in the middle. He's the main important guy in front of the back four. I think after Jorginho being subbed off, you can see how good of a player Declan Rice is when he is operating as the lone six. And when Declan Rice can do such a thing as the lone six, you don't need Thomas Partey anymore. I mean, yeah, you can probably arguably say that, you kind of lack the creativity without Thomas Partey, but the fact that Declan Rice is so good right now, we don't quite care about the creativity at the moment, but Declan Rice being the main guy at the back for Arsenal was certainly something that we just have to foresee in the future, where he just have to play as a lone six and not as an 8. Again, Declan Rice was just could be my man of the match, but I still think Tomiyasu, or actually no, Jesus is my man of the match right there. Jesus masterclass, helping us getting the assist, the goal, top of the group table. Kivio come on, putting a good defensive work, even though it was only the last 6 minutes. But let's talk about the last part of the game. Raya, it was a cross from the right-hand side. Raya, went for it, and he punched it to his own goal. From that angle, or at least from the TV, wherever you were watching, you thought the goal was actually going at the back of the net. But thank God it went over the bar and hitting at the top of the netting. That was so close. I was I would be very, very upset if we somehow tie the game, because we have everything we have. We have all the control. We didn't have all the control, but I felt like this game written our name on it. But yeah, thank God Raya didn't concede a known goal. You can see Saliba was terrified. His shit just dropped in the last second. I'm sure everybody almost shit themselves in the end. And also Ocampos, I believe, was it Ocampos? Somebody on the right hand side who it was pretty much the last chance for Sevilla, and he just blasted. I mean, I don't blame him. That was pretty much a good chance for him to score. If he has to take a chance, has to from that angle as well. I mean, he lined himself perfectly for the shot, but it was over the bar. And we beat Sevilla 2-1. I mean, I'm very proud of the result. Not the most convincing game. I don't think Arsenal have played any convincing game so far except the Bournemouth away. But I think today was a good game. We got everything. We got super goal. We got super assist, super defending, and let's talk about Declan Rice. That stride from him at the back. He received the ball and just keep traveling. Took him 3 to 4 seconds to get into the 35-yard box. But I'm so happy Arsenal got him, because this is exactly what you want from a lone six, and this is exactly what you want from Declan Rice. We won the game 2-1. I think it's also a good time where Arteta switched up some players. Against Sheffield United, they only have 1 point or 2 points, something like that, sitting at the dead last table. But we're at home. The last time we were playing against a team sitting at 20th, we drew 3-3. So even though I would encourage a bit of a rotation, a bit of a change there, but certainly can't really change a lot. So that's pretty much for today's podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you guys do all the good stuff to the channel, and I'll see you guys in a bit.